What I like to do is telling stories. I like that when you look at every of my pictures, you always can imagine what happened just before or just after. What happens, why are they there? And then you can make your own story. And this, I learned it from the advertising. Try to tell a story. But sometimes I think it's always good to forget a little bit the story and live like the poetry can. And this is what I'm learning to do. I had like 12 people working on the makeup, 5 girls making the costumes, and they're handmade, especially for the models. And finally, with lots of work and time, the idea, the small idea you had in your mind, superhero, Flemish, became reality. This is why I still like, and every morning I wake up and I'm happy to do what I do. I'm very fond of the superhero for lots of reasons. First, because I am Jewish, so they were created by Jewish coming from Europe. They were created to help people to fight against the Nazis and for the war, and also they are very clean, very perfect. And in Europe, the picture of the painting, it's more romantic, more. So I thought, what happened if Hulk, which is so cold and so clean, would be born in Europe in the 15th or 16th century, and if we do a painting of him or a picture of him, what happened? And the funny thing is that I found the guy, he had 3 hours makeup, and we dressed him. So that was a hard job. And when we started the picture, he was doing Hulk. You know, he was just doing just like. And I thought, this is not what I want to show. I want to show what happens if Hulk would be born in this, and he wouldn't do that. So I asked the guy, I think, please, can you just sit on the chair and like try to be more cool, more sad, you know, more romantic. And then you see when that's the magic of the thing. When the guy is starting to move, you can see that you are going to have the image soon. Romanticism is about humanity, about, in French I would say fragile, and in English it's vulnerable. And this is what I wanted to see, like Catwoman. She's not looking at us, she's just like looking down, the cat is around her. She's still Catwoman, but she's such human, you know. You can feel that all these superheroes, they can die, they're just like us. In the cartoon, original cartoon, they're not like us. They are superheroes, they are perfect, nothing happens to them. And this is the strength of the States. Like nothing can happen to the States. They're all, you know, there is an image like that, very straight, very strong, no vulnerability. In Europe we are more messy, it's like more fragile, making more, and I wanted to mix these two things. I think Batman was a great superhero because he was the first one who was more human than Superman. Batman is a normal man with normal skills, so I asked him to be quite straight, not to become too much human. I asked a French guy, who is making some metal iron helmet. He's very fond of Iron Man, and when he has time, he used the machine for the car, he used them to make an Iron Man set. We thought we would like to have the prints of the jacket on the iron. So it's a 3D helmet. But it's fantastic because it looks like real, and you have all the prints on the helmet of the jacket, which are old-fashioned prints. There is a head costume girl, and she looked at every fabric. It's like they were made in the 15th century, very thick. Because if you look at Superman, he's quite cold. The last version, it looks like nearly metal, skin tight. I did the opposite, you know. And even the forms, like if Captain America was born in the 15th century, he wouldn't have a tight jacket because they didn't wear this kind of suits at this time. I could have tried to put this superhero now with the costume of today. But if I wanted to make them more human, I think that the painting of the 15th and 16th century, people are so desperate and so lost and romantic, and that for me it was a good expression to take this people I like from the States, so called. The difference is like in cartoon, they will not die. In my picture, they will die. It's like, you know, when you, with the Tolkien story, when the elves become human, as long as they are elves, they could not die. In my picture, they don't look so young. You can see the skin, you can see that they are not so perfect. Finally, superheroes are like us. They're not, you know, everybody can have a weakness. And this is what I wanted to show. It's like the contrast between perfect people and fragility.